What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and I know y'all probably like, "Girl, where the hell you been all week? What's going on with you, child?" But listen, I love y'all. Thank y'all for bearing with me through all my trials and tribulations. We'll talk about what's been going on in my life in members only, but first, let's get into it, shall we? What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee. So let's just get into it, shall we? Y'all, we are back to talk about this tragedy of a relationship between Shamea and Porsha. Okay. I'm not going to be on camera because number one, I'm in my bed. And two, I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all because I haven't talked to y'all all week. Again, we'll get into the deep dive of it all. I have good news for y'all. We'll talk about that in members only, but that's kind of what's been keeping me off my game for the last couple of weeks. And now it is finally over. We got good news. So anyway, let's get into Porsha and Shamea. We'll get into that, but I want to talk about this episode briefly. I know everybody has probably seen everybody's take on this episode and Shamea and Portia's relationship, but I did have a chance to look at some things and gain some background information on all this stuff with Portia's mama, Shamea's mama, this, that, and the third. And we'll gather all of that. But I just want to say anybody that has found a way to somehow make Portia the victim in this situation, you might be a bad friend. You just might be a bad friend. And we'll get into that because I've had enough experiences with people that are bad friends that I've had to make the decision to cut off in my life that I have way too much experience in this scenario. But let's just breeze through the other scenes in the episode because I feel like a lot of the stuff in this episode was pretty much filler. I kind of want to touch on the first scene with Angela and Charles. Everybody always, a lot of people have stuff to say about Charles and Angela's relationship, right? How, they don't think that Charles really loves Angela, and Charles seems very distant from Angela, and this, that, and the third. Here's the thing with Angela and Charles, they have a relationship that a lot of people are not going to understand. I encourage y'all to look at, if you look at my other channel, Shay Renee Says, that used to be a channel that me and my husband had where we had conversations and things like that. Now, that channel is that those episodes are like 5 years old now, right? And we actually sat down and watched them together the other night. And we were like, wow, we've evolved so much since then. But y'all would probably think that me and my husband were kind of like Angela and Charles, right? Now, my husband, he wasn't quite as outwardly rude with it as Charles was, but the relationship is different. But nevertheless, my husband loves me, and I know that. I think the difference between the two, myself and my husband and Angela and Charles, is that they're on TV. And I think that Angela has an image that she wants to keep up in front of everybody, like, give me a kiss, Charles. And, her constantly trying to talk about her family issues with him. But Charles just simply doesn't care. I think that Angela loves Charles because he provides her financial stability. I think that she wants to be seen, and he provides her that ability to do that because he does have somewhat of a celebrity profile. I think that Angela just wants to be that girl. And I also think that Angela holds her success over her family's head and thinks that her family is supposed to just do whatever she tells them to do because she's the breadwinner. And I think that shows heavily in the scene where we can fast forward to where Angela is talking to her mother. You can't even, Angela couldn't even say her sister's name. Her sister wouldn't even sign off to even have her name said on this episode. That's how tired of Angela's shit her sister is. Okay. I think Angela has she has some serious identity issues that she needs to work through. I really do. I think that, Angela is extremely funny on here. I think she's the perfect housewife, honestly. The clapbacks are great, all those good things. But I think there's some insecurities in Angela's life that she really should really wrap her arms around. And they come out through Charles because Charles, y'all are looking at Charles like he's an asshole, but Charles is looking at Angela like, girl, why are you acting like this for these cameras? He's looking at her like, you're not being yourself. Like, and I'm not about to sit up here and fake the funk for you. I'm not about to pretend like I'm acting this way and I'm lovey dovey with you and this and the third. I clean up the house and cook, and you are pretty much my arm candy. That's pretty much what it is. I think that Charles likes to spar with Angela. I think Angela is time enough for him, judging by her quips that she gives to the ladies on the show. I think that's what probably attracted Charles to her because he can verbally spar with her and she's time enough for him. Men are attracted to women for different things. Like me and my husband, we go back and forth like that too. It's lovingly and it's in a funny way. Literally, all of our friends look at us as like the funny couple. They always want us to come to events because people that don't know us will be like, are they arguing? But really, that's our banter. We do go back and forth. So when Angela was like, oh, it's our funny banter, he, that does exist in relationships, but I don't know if that's exactly what's happening in their relationship for sure. But I guarantee you that Angela and Charles have a unique type of relationship that some people just don't understand. What's up, Mims? You are awake and on my chat with all of that Diddy coverage that you're doing. Y'all, shout out to Mims. He is doing the Lord's work up there in New York covering the Diddy case. If you want to see anything Diddy related, please go to his channel because he is really busting his tail and bringing us very good information. I have watched all of his takes on it. Awesome, awesome, awesome takes on this case. Okay. But hey, friend, how you bees? Thank you so much for joining. Mim says Shamea was a fool for keeping Porsha as a friend this long. Absolutely, and we are going to we're going to dive into that for sure. For sure, there is absolutely no way that me and Porsha would still be friends after all this time. Mim says Angela ain't going nowhere. That man and invested in 8 McMansions. She ain't nowhere close to selling. Now she ain't nowhere close to selling them, but you are absolutely right. Definitely need to go ahead and lay claim to that man and stand by his side. Okay. But yeah, I really think that Angela is just one of those people that she's successful. She want to throw it in her friends and family's face. And I think that her daughter has some type of a level of entitlement rather, because the fact that the daughter thought that she could go over to her grandmother's house and just drive her grandmother's car whenever she feels like it because her mother paid for it is insane to me. It's insane. I don't give a damn if your mother bought me the underwear that I have on. That doesn't mean that I should take them off and let you put them on if you ain't got none. That's ridiculous. Like, I just feel like Angela is the type of person that she likes to hold things over people's heads. She likes to be controlling. And I think that her daughter has followed in those footsteps and is causing a rift amongst the family. Beautiful Lee is in the building. What's up, Lee? Lee says, "Hey, Shay and Chat. What's up? What's up, Lee? How you bees?" Lee is also one of my members. Thank you so much for joining me. We also have Brenda B in the chat. Brenda B is also one of my members. She says, "Hello, Shay and Chat. What's up? What's up, Brenda? How you bees? Thank y'all for joining this late night creep of a chat." Okay, now my family back home, child. I thought they were gonna stay out for a while. Tanisha Breedlove is in the building. She says, "Hello, Shay Renee and chat. What's up? Thank you so much for joining." But yeah, y'all. I just think that Angela and Charles, they gonna be what they gonna be, and everybody just need to just let it go. It ain't gonna be no lovey dovey. Angela just need to stop faking and acting like it's more than what it is, and it's just not. But moving on, we go to the next scene with Shamea and Cynthia. Okay. This scene with Shamea, um, I am definitely on the same page with Mims. Shamea should have just stopped being friends with Porsha a very, very long time ago. And there are some things that I want to touch on here. I think that anybody that sits up here and makes it make sense, okay, no pun intended, with Mims, anybody that tries to make it make sense that Shamea is somehow conniving and she just wants to be seen and this, y'all don't, I don't understand how anybody can think that Shamea has that mindset. Shamea is actually talented. No shade to Porsha, but Porsha, we wouldn't have, we never knew her. Porsha was Cordell's wife. That's it. Nobody knew Porsha Williams before she came on this show. Porsha didn't have any talent that anybody knew of prior to this show. Shamea said it herself. She was in a singing group with Carrie Hilson. She was in singing groups with popular name singers to this day, groups that didn't, pan out rather. But nevertheless, she was in those circles where she was around other talented, like-minded people such as herself. Shamea has been on a radio. She's been on the radio. She's been an Atlanta Hawks announcer, cheerleader, all those things. Shamea has been acting, singing. Shamea is actually talented. Porsha is Hosea Williams' granddaughter. That's it. And no shade, but Porsha, yes, she's funny. She's beautiful. She has a nice body, but she doesn't have any talents that set her apart. Then there's this story of, and Porsha had this post, y'all. I'm gonna find it and show y'all. And I'm pretty sure y'all have seen it everywhere at this point. But Porsha did a post and delete, okay, where she basically was talking about how Shamea's mama, Shamea better not be talking about her mom and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, Porsha, like seriously? You did all of that to rile up the people, to make them think that Shamea was just this bad person, that she was sitting up there, she was about to talk about your mama. I can't find it in the device that I'm using, y'all. But y'all know, y'all seen the post. Porsha was basically trying to make the fans manipulate everybody like she always does, trying to make the fans think that Shamea is just this bad person. And after watching the episode, and this is what she does, she tries to take over everybody's minds before it happened. So everybody, all y'all was watching that episode thinking that Shamea was about to throw Portia's mama under the bus and talk some shit about her. And at the end of the day, wasn't nothing said about Portia's mother. The whole deal was that Portia's mother, I watched the House of Aaron earlier. Shout out to House of Aaron. He basically gave a story of when Shamea's mother and Portia's mother both owned daycare facilities. So Miss Diane apparently she wasn't doing well with one of her daycare centers. Okay. They were talking about how, people at the time it was 9/11. I don't know if it was 9/11 or something happened where the area that she was in, it wasn't so prominent. Like she wasn't getting that many people to come in and they weren't able to pay for the services, right? Or that's hearsay. That's alleged information. It could just be that Miss Diane wasn't taking care of the facility the way that she was supposed to. Because I also saw another video, and I'm gonna say this is alleged, where one of the daycare facilities allegedly was in Portia's name, right? But one of the kids lost their lives. Okay. Now, at first, apparently, one of the kids on the first day of arriving at the daycare. Now, this is one of Miss Diane's daycares, but Portia's name was on this specific facility, allegedly. So, something happened to one of the kids, and one of the kids, it was a baby that was like, I think, 3 months old or something like that. And the baby didn't live. Okay. They were saying, there were rumors that the baby was just left to cry alone, and that wasn't the case. And, they were able to produce evidence that that wasn't the case. And they, it was something really, it was inevitable that this was going to happen to the baby. Like, I guess the baby had some pre existing conditions, allegedly. I'm not sure what happened. But nevertheless, none of this stuff was ever talked about on the Housewives because Portia does a great job of hiding things that she doesn't want anybody to know about. Now, granted, of course, nobody wants to relive that. Nobody wants to have that come up on national TV that a child allegedly was, didn't survive the first day of daycare at a daycare center that had your name on it. Now, Miss Diane has several daycare centers. It seems like she had to let one go. I don't know if that created a financial burden for her because of this situation, because the daycare was allegedly the insurance was sued um, for $5 million or something like that. Um, and I can imagine that can put you in a financial ruin. I don't know how true all of this stuff is. I saw this on another YouTube channel. Okay, so this is all alleged information. Now, with that being said, Miss Diane seems to be the type of woman that has coaxed and coached her daughter Portia into getting whatever she wants. She, and the apple don't fall too far from the tree if that's the case. Miss Diane is probably one of those women that thought, oh, daycare centers, that's something real easy I can do. Anybody can, get a license to watch children all day and this, that, and the third. And, I'm a beautiful woman. I can find me a man to take care of me type of stuff. Shamea's mother, on the other hand, probably was really a hard worker. So long story short, Miss Diane decided to give up the daycare facility that she had because it wasn't bringing her any financial profit, and it went into foreclosure. She tells Shamea's mother about it, allegedly. Her mother goes and buys the facility while it's in foreclosure. So people are arguing in chats saying that, Shamea's mother is terrible. She should have went and told Miss Diane, and why didn't she just buy the facility from Miss Diane if that was her friend or whatever. Here's the thing: we don't know whether this woman told Miss Diane that she was going to buy the facility under her or not. One thing is for certain: somebody was going to buy the facility. So whether it was Miss Diane or whether it was Shamea's mother, Miss Morton, or anybody else for that matter, Miss Diane wasn't going to be able to take care of that facility. So it's not Shamea's mother's responsibility to save you. And that's the mentality that Portia's mother and Portia have, that somebody's supposed to come and save them. Somebody's supposed to do whatever they need them to do. And if you're not doing what they want you to do, or acting the way that they think you should act, or handling stuff the way that they think you should handle it, you a terrible person and they don't want to be around you. And that's messed up. It sounds like somebody could do 50, 11 things right for them and be there for them. But the one time you do something that they don't like, then that's it. You every dog in the book. So my thing is, I don't know what Mama Morton did. I don't know if she told Portia's mother or not. All I know is I wouldn't buy it for full price from you if you haven't been paying your bills. I'll get it for the G price in foreclosure. But as a friend, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to have to make this business decision right here. You going to let it go anyway. And clearly, if Shamea's mother got the business and was able to help it to continue to thrive, Miss Diane just wasn't doing what she was supposed to do to run that business properly. So that's that on that. So more getting to the point, Shamea is sitting there talking to Cynthia, which at this point, Cynthia should just be a full-time housewife because everybody coming to her talking to her and shit. I don't know. But anyway, moving on. Shamea ends up crying because she's like, she called her mother to have her mom pray for her because, her heart is really hurting over this situation with Porsha. And I can understand that because when you are friends with somebody for a long time and you really expect your friend to act a certain way, but you're not getting out of your friend what you would do for them. And I know the saying goes, don't always expect you out of other people. But goddamn it, if you one of my best friends and I have shown you the way, I've shown you that I'm there for you. I've shown you that I protect you in rooms that you ain't in. I've shown you that. The least your dog ass could do is do the same for me. Quid pro quo, Clarice. Okay, you my best fucking friend. What the hell is wrong with you? I'm always defending your ass, but you can't never defend me. You go right along with it. And I think that's what's hurting Shamea the most. I think Shamea is upset that every time one of the women came to her talking shit about Porsha, she never let it ride. She defended Porsha. She told them, if you got something to say about Porsha, you go say it to her. But the minute somebody brings a bone back to Porsha, she immediately takes their word as law. She didn't even call Shamea and ask her, hey, Angela told me this, that, and the third, or whatever. And she could have did this off camera. The whole time at the end, she telling Shamea, oh, we could have did this off camera, blah, blah, blah. But you didn't say nothing to Shamea off camera about what Angela said. You gave her the silent treatment the next day at your event and was all fake and didn't even want to take the picture with Shamea. You gave her the cold shoulder. It's fucked up. And I understand Shamea's point of view. Now, I will say, Shamea brought all of this up on the show because, and I would honestly, I get it. And we're gonna dive deeper into that when we get to the end. But Cynthia, on the other hand, is like she totally understands where Shamea is coming from, and I know why Cynthia understands because she had to go through the same shit with daggone Nene, where it's like you constantly gotta prove yourself to somebody. I'd be damned if I'm a grown ass woman and I gotta constantly prove myself to my friends. That's draining. Who has time for that? I'll just rather move on. And that goes back to what Mim said. There's no way I would have been able to be Portia's friend all this time. No way. I can imagine that as they were growing up, Porsha was a nerd for a while, but Shamea was talented. Shamea was a cheerleader. Shamea was doing all the things. So while Porsha, when they got to high school, probably turned into a bombshell and was, pretty, I can imagine Shamea was doing the same thing. Shamea wasn't no slouch. She wasn't the ugly duckling friend, which is what I feel like a lot of y'all are trying to create for her. I don't think that was the case. I think that Shamea's mother took very, very good care of her. And I think she lived a good life growing up because her mother was financially responsible, unlike what it sounds like with Portia's mother. And the word on the curb in the streets is saying that Portia's mother was a side chick. Now, I don't understand how Portia's mother could have had this man's first two children because the other Portia and her brother, um, which is Miss Diane's children, her dad had two children. So I think Lauren, which is the youngest, she has an older brother, and I think that her brother is younger than Portia. So I don't know if Miss Diane was necessarily, that's the people are saying she was a side chick. I don't know if she was a side chick or she was just a girlfriend and he decided not to marry her, and he ended up marrying Lauren's mother. I don't know what the case was, but it is what it is. Let me get into some of these comments. Lee says, "Yeah, I don't care if my aunt bought me a car. Her daughter ain't about to come use my car when she wants to, unless she wants some hands." I know that's right, Lee, because listen, I don't give a damn what you done bought me. Don't be an Indian giver. You know what I mean? Like I don't like that. And Lord forgive me if I'm not supposed to say that, but I just heard that growing up. So I apologize if anybody's offended. But don't give me something and come and take it back. Okay. That's not what we about to do. Lee says Portia looked like a fifth grader acting out, shuffling damn silverware while Shamea trying to talk. Portia knows she can't have an educated adult conversation like Shamea can, so she sabotages the convo. Exactly. Portia wanted to control Shamea. And we're gonna get into that because I'm gonna play the conversation and I'm gonna give commentary as we go along. But Portia wanted to control Shamea. That's what that was all about. That was a Shamea, stop talking. I don't want to talk about this right now. You know that. So I'm trying to remind you by shuffling this knife and fork around to shut the hell up. And that's fucked up. Proud Mimi says Portia has no storyline. She using Shamia, in my opinion. I think so. I think honestly, Portia, I don't know if she's necessarily using Shamia. I think that Portia expected this season to go a certain way, and she expects a certain behavior out of Shamia, and she's not getting that. And I think that's annoying her that Shamia is standing up to herself, standing up for herself rather. Lee says just like Portia, stop focusing and promoting her hair company and sheets after she married Simon, thinking she got her meal ticket. Now she wants to start focusing on it for the show. Exactly, exactly. Period. Portia doesn't have any get up and go about herself consistently, right? DG says, "Hey, Shay and Chad, what's up, DG? How you bees? DG is also one of my members. Thank you so much for joining." But yeah, y'all, we get from the scene with Cynthia and Shamia, and now Portia is at the bowling alley with Cynthia and Angela. So they bowling. Angela want to put up the little baby guards. I mean, baby guards, and Portia is like, "Girl, no." So they get to sit down talking, and Portia is now talking about how Pilar is, she's so sad, asking for her papa, aka Simon. Here's the thing. I don't bit more believe that than the man in the moon. Let me say this. I get it. Pilar is going to have some type of feelings towards Simon because obviously he was in the house for a while and, clearly he had a relationship with her mother, right? But just like that damn dog that Portia brought in the house, Pilar ain't give two shits about Simon. I don't believe none of that. I think that Pilar has a daddy and she loved her daddy, and Simon was just a nice man that was around and probably bought her gifts. And I don't even believe that Simon was all into Pilar like that. I don't. Was Simon's own damn kids over the house like that? I don't. Child, please. And Pilar gonna be just like Fallon's children. Simon ain't called now near one of them damn kids Fallon had. Okay, that he was stepdaddy too for however long they was married. Do you see him going and calling Fallon to see her children? No. So he is not going to be reaching out to talk to Pilar. So while you sitting up there talking about something, oh, and I called him and he didn't answer and blah blah blah. Girl, Portia, just stop. The the shenanigans are just they are just becoming too much. It's just too much. Moving on. We go to um Kelly, I'm sorry, Drew is riding in the car. Apparently, Ralph done locked her out the damn house, child. He is doing the absolute most. Let me say this. Let me say this, Drew. Ralph has not given his finances. Ralph was supposed to, be this breadwinner, taking care of all this stuff. What proof do you have that Ralph had all this money and he wasn't just using your money? You gave this man full control of your finances. Y'all probably, for all you know, was living off of your money all this time. Ralph may have made some good investments in some stocks or some shit or whatever. But why is it that he don't want to turn over his financial information? Any man that sits up here and wants to drain his wife financially, emotionally, mentally, there's there are no depths of the earth that I wouldn't go to. I would make myself extremely uncomfortable and I would move out of that house. I'd go get me an apartment and he would pay for that house by his goddamn self. Me and my kids would be in an apartment. And he would have to come and pick them damn kids up. That's what he would have to do. Because what you're not going to do is I'm going to send the kids down to the basement to you. And basically, you still taking care of the kids because they coming upstairs whenever. That don't make no damn sense. Hell, he'd really be fucked up with me because I moved back to Chicago and stay with my mama. That's exactly what I would do. You can do acting roles from anywhere. And I don't know how much money you making on the Real Housewives. I mean, I guess you making a cute coin off of that. But I would, yeah, I'll get me an apartment cause fuck Ralph. That old mechanical eraser head ass nigga. I wouldn't give two shits about him. And that's that on that. Period. Drew, you allowing this man to roll over top of you, but that motherfucker wouldn't know what hit him. I'd move out of that house so damn fast and make his head swim. Believe that. And he would be forced to sell that fucking house or he had to pay for that bitch by himself. And I would change all the passwords to all of my accounts. He wouldn't have access to shit. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't even know if I had one red cent in my damn account. You got all this money for all these investments. Go ahead and do what you got to do. Lee says Ralph would have gotten knocked between the washer and dryer. I wish you would lock me out my house. I'm busting a window or call 911. Drew should have been left. Then he couldn't see what she's doing. Exactly. Period. There is no way that you would still have access to me. Demi Bell says, hey, Shay, I'm late and half sleep. Hey, Demi Bell, what's up, girl? Listen, okay. It is late at night and I'm damn half damn sleep my damn self. But thank you for joining me, friend. But yeah, Ralph, it would be no way. Locking me out my house, you got the game all the way fucked up. You got me fucked up. There is no way you would ever lock me out of my damn house. That'd be the last time you lock me out of my shit. But moving on, y'all. We already talked about this scene with Angela and her mother, but it's just really sad to see her mom, especially God rest her soul. R.I.P. to Angela's mother. She seemed like I would have loved to see the dynamic of their relationship grow over time as Angela remained on the show because Angela is actually a very good asset to this show. So we go to Kelly and her daughter, Chloe, driving. Now, Chloe, baby girl, you need to learn how to damn drive because you be about ready to crash and burn on the curb, the car next to you. You don't know how to stay in your lane, honey. That expedition, that big old Escalade that you driving in. Let me tell y'all something. Fun fact. I learned how to drive in a Ford Expedition. My parents had a white Ford Expedition, and my ass knew how to drive. Okay, and I stayed in my lane. My mother used to have me driving her around all the time because I knew how to damn drive. Okay, I used to practice on the little race car games. I used to practice driving like that, staying in my lane, all that stuff, and that works. That translates. So food for thought, y'all. Take y'all kids to the damn raceway. Take them go-karting, whatever you got to do, so you don't lose your damn mind when you teaching them how to damn drive. So I'm a listen to my own advice and take my son. But moving on, they get to talking about the restaurant and whatnot. I feel like Chloe is going to be one of those entitled children, but Kelly is creating a monster because you giving her 17 purses on her birthday and 17 gifts and this, that, and the third. That's a lot of bit excessive. And she's talking about something. You could just buy me a small BMW because Kelly like, bitch, you can't drive. I'm gonna get you a Honda Civic because you ain't about to fuck no cars up. That's expensive ass cars and think I'm about to pay for it. I know you lying. She like, well, you just buy me a small BMW. And she like, I'll get the car, but you're gonna have to take care of it. You're gonna have to put gas in it. You're gonna have to do the maintenance on it. But I don't bit more believe that little girl think that she gonna have to pay for nothing more than the man in the moon. She thinks she gonna work at the restaurant, but she ain't really gonna be working. She just gonna be the owner's daughter, thinking she can do whatever she wanna do. But Kelly need to make her work. And it sounds like that's not what Kelly over there doing. She not really teaching that girl no responsibility. Damn need she need to send her back to damn driving school. That's what the hell she need to do. But moving on, we get to Drew and her mama child. And Drew basically lost her damn mind when her mama told her your kids is bad as fuck. Okay. I don't know what's, with this whole divorce situation, them telling y'all that y'all need to, the courts don't know what the hell they talking about. So much y'all need to live in this house together because the kids have made a shift. And yeah, I don't like that, and I don't like no badass children. Okay, I like to whip a kid back into shape, if you know what I mean. Your kids is bad as hell. Your kids is bad as hell. That was a dumbass decision by the courts. So Drew gets upset, and him downstairs, okay, he downstairs probably hearing everything that's going on, and Drew losing her mind, sad and carrying on because her kids is bad. Drew, listen, I don't know why you crying and carrying on, but your kids bad, girl. It is what it is. All right. And your kids probably need therapy too. Because your kids are smart. They're not dumb. And y'all sitting up there not telling them about the divorce or whatever. But these kids, they know, oh, daddy living in the basement and mommy upstairs. Something ain't right. And the mama like, well, hell, I ain't mean to upset you, but your damn kids is bad as hell. I mean, I don't know. And the chef over there consoling the mother, and Drew running around being dramatic. I'm like, girl, just give them an extra time out or something. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. But moving on. Oh, my girl is in the building. Brittany Jeanette. Brittany, girl, you won one of the gift cards. Um, from the Mother's Day giveaway. You ain't never inbox me and give me your information so I can send it out. And child, I need to send Dee's gift card out. It's in the daggone envelope sitting on my desk. I need to get some stamps to put on the thing so I can send it out. I done drag my feet. Dee, you gonna get that gift card tomorrow, okay? Because I'm gonna take my ass to the post office and pay for a book of stamps and get it on out the way. But Brittany, inbox me on Instagram. You won a $25 gift card for Mother's Day, and I just need your information so I can send it out to you. So congratulations to you, friend. Demi Bell says this storyline with Porsha and Shamea is played out. I'm already bored with them, just like I was bored of the Porsha being fake mad at Drew. Exactly. Porsha ain't got shit to talk about, child, and it shows. Demi Bell says him downstairs, milk and cookies. You get me. You get me. I love it. Brittany Janae says, oh, thank you, sis. I'll DM you right now. Yes, yes, go ahead. Get that information out to me so I can go ahead and get that out to you tomorrow with Dee's card as well. Lee says, congrats, Brittany and Dee. Yes, we had one other winner too. But she's not on here. I will announce her again in the members only. I'll just post your names. But yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all. We do for another giveaway this month as well. So stay tuned for that. So we get to this final scene with Porsha and Shamea. Okay. We are going to really take our time to go through this. I probably won't get monetized for this video, but I really want to make sure that we pay attention to what's going on and what's being said. So Porsha. She's gonna give me that face. She like, for your mom? Yeah. So Porsha gets a phone call from her mother. Okay. Now, ain't nobody gonna tell me that Porsha didn't alert her mother to the fact that she was going to lunch with Shamea. She probably told her mother to call just so that Shamea could be alerted to be like, maybe I don't want to have this conversation with Porsha right now. Let me explain this dynamic of this relationship. Let me set the stage for y'all. Shamea as a Taurus, Porsha as a Cancer. Okay. Now, I'm a Cancer. My good sis Brittany is in the chat. We both are Cancers. But we have come to the conclusion that Porsha, she's outside of the club. We really ain't trying to claim her right now. But one of the things that some Cancers will do that I notice is that sometimes they can be very um so secluded to the point that it becomes almost kind of delusional, right? Where if it's, and I have a friend, let me say this because I don't think she watched my videos anyway, but I have a friend that's also a Cancer. Okay, I can use her as a perfect example because I think her and Portia are very similar. She is very delusional. Like my friend has done things to all of us, not me per se, but I've seen her do things to other friends in my friend group. She expects people to forgive her, but she holds stuff over other people's heads, and she makes judgments on people according to what her other friends say. She expects things from people that she doesn't give to other people. She expects loyalty from people that she don't give to loyalty. I'm talking loyalty to others. I'm talking about fuck somebody's man behind their back, all that. Or really wasn't a man, but it's like, you know how you tell your friend you like somebody and you like, oh, I really like him, girl. And then, she gonna go on and fuck him. And then when you say, hey, why you fuck him? Oh, well, he wasn't your man for real. Like you wasn't gonna never say nothing. So it is what it is. And expect you to forgive them for what they did. Okay. But let you do something. They gonna hold it over she hold it over people's head and don't want to talk to them and this, that, and the third. Just real righteous. It really reminds me of Portia. It really does. And that's what I'm saying. I have experience in the fucked up Cancer of it all. Okay. Have the experience. I done seen it face to face. All right. So there are some fucked up Cancers out here. Now there are a lot of them that are very loving, very intuitive, right? But that one there, and Portia, they're a little fucked up. They're a little fucked up. Okay. But moving on. However, I also have a Taurus friend. Very, very loyal. Very much so. And she's a friend that the Cancer friend fucked her dude. Okay. And the sad thing is, she hooked them up and was fucking the dude the whole damn time. Okay. Hope my friends ain't watching this. I ain't gonna say y'all names. Okay. But my Taurus friend, sweetest pie. Okay. But don't piss her off, child. Because baby girl getting that ass, okay? When she will verbally assassinate you, all right? But she's the sweetest person. But when you hurt her, she wants to talk about it. She wants to understand why you did what you did. Now, mind you, my Taurus friend, she gonna have your back. She's gonna be there for you. She gonna show up. She a little cheap. She ain't gonna pay for stuff, but I digress. But she is gonna be there for you. She gonna hear you out. You know what I mean? You got a friend in her. Even afterwards, she was like, you know what? All right, she apologized. We've been friends for a long time. I'm a let it ride. That's Shamea. Just allowing Portia to continue to do stuff to her over and over and over again, as if she has to prove herself to Portia as this great friend that she is. You don't have to prove shit to Portia. You ain't got to prove shit to her, just like my friends didn't have to prove shit to my Cancer friend, which is the Cancer of the group sometimes. She can be the sweetest person, but then can be the most backstabbing person ever. But she's cool as a fan. And you know, she has that charm. She's funny that makes people be like, it's so and so. I ain't trying to be dealing with dude no more anyway. So, I mean, whatever. We've been friends since college. I'll let it ride. That's how I feel people are with Porsha. People look at Porsha like, oh, she's funny. She's cool. She's fine. She's Porsha. Let's let it go. But I'm tired of people letting it go with her. It's too much. It's entirely too much. What y'all saying? Wow. Jimmy Bell says, "Wow, I can't stand folks like that." Yeah, girl, it's a lot. And me, every time I'm around said friend, it's like I just have this. Mind you, I'm always torn, and I'm in a rock and a hard place. And we've been friends for years, right? But I'm torn between a rock and a hard place because she's never done anything to me, to my knowledge. And I'm not really supposed to know all of this other stuff that she has done. I'm always the friend that everybody come confide in. And if you want to hear the truth, I'm going to tell you the truth. I would never do no shit like that to none of my friends, right? But I can't be outwardly mad with her because she didn't do any of that to me. And I'm not supposed to know. So it's difficult when I'm around her because it's very fake. Now, mind you, a lot of this stuff has happened years ago. We all have evolved, married, had kids, all the things, right? But it's still just like, girl, you got the diggity dacity. But I digress. It's just one of those things where you like look at a person like, damn, you got those capabilities. Damn. I said it, now what? Yeah, here we go. See, listen, I said it, now what? I love it. Hey, Shay Renee online boss in chat. After hearing that Shamea's husband is allegedly 63, her and Portia share a liking to elderly Africans. What? I don't know if Gerald's 63. Is that his name, Gerald? That man don't look 63. I don't know about that. But hell, he look good for 63 if he is. Brittany says, "What? Yeah, girl. It was a lot. Okay. I got stories for days. Okay. Days." But I digress. Demi Bell says, "I think she was not as innocent as you think, Shay. She is a sheep in wolf's clothing." Yeah. That's how I feel too. But like I said, I'm not supposed to know, child. Linnell Siler says, "Hi. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining." But I say all that to say, y'all, to give y'all a real life example of I have experienced a Porsche, and it's not a good feeling. It really isn't a good feeling, and I can't stand it. And then they try to, there's times where, like even with my friend, she'll be mad about something, and she's very outspoken. She'll cut you with words and try to dig all in your ass. But I want to be like, girl, but you did da 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 da. And that's how Portia is. Portia with this whole, fidgeting under the table. Shamea is trying to tell her how she feels. And Portia sighing. The minute that bitch sighed, there is absolutely no way. Absolutely no way I'd have sat there. I'd have left. As soon as Portia, you want to sigh when I'm trying to tell you how I feel? You lost your fucking mind. But let's listen to Shamea, y'all. Shamea is kind of. I don't want to be at odds with. Hold on, let's go back to what when Shamea was talking. Good stuff. So we'll see. Hi. So how you been? I've been good. Just been dealing with all my stuff. Oh, this is when the mama called. I went back too far. Hold on, y'all. Like I said, I feel like that was a call summoned. I don't want to be at odds with her. I'm not the ops, but I want to be heard today. First, let me just apologize for maybe not being as open about my feelings over the years. There's been things in our friendship that have hurt my feelings, and a lot of stuff I mask because I handle our friendship with care. I think all I'm trying to say is I think I wouldn't have preferred it to have come out in the group.
I didn't need them to tell me or tell you how to feel about what we got going on. You had already discussed some of these things prior to me anyway. That's okay. How it even got. So the difference between.
So she keeps on trying to say that Shamea has talked about these things before. They've talked about it before. We handled this 10 years ago. No, you didn't handle it 10 years ago, because if you handled it 10 years ago, Shamea wouldn't still be feeling this way. Even in this moment where Shamea is choosing her words carefully, she's like, where I handle our friendship with care, aka I smother myself. I really have to double think about what I'm going to say to you, because I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want you to be mad at me. Anything. It's like I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't with you. And that's what I want Shamea to just come out and say. That's what I want Shamea to come out and say. I want her to come out and just be like, listen, Porsha, I have shrunk myself around you and I'm tired of doing it. You don't ever have my back the way that I have your back, and it's very evident. You sat up there and let Phaedra and everybody else say that I was, people had all these rumors about whether I was sleeping with Candy and Todd and this, that, and the third. You never you never settled that rumor and said, no, that's not the case. You never told people to stop talking about me. When people call me a lapdog around you, you don't stop them from saying it. But when anybody say anything remotely bad about you, even the whole situation about Pilar and paying for the college, even though that was just so stupid and nothing to really be mad over, you sat up there and, Shamea was sitting up there defending her in rooms that she wasn't even in. And I feel like Shamea was extra read all about it with the stuff that she was saying, in fear that Porsha will watch the show back and still have something negative to say about how she handled a situation or how she didn't defend her enough. But Porsha don't defend. I don't. I think that this is just over time. Shamea is over it. And I also feel like I'm gonna have to give Shamea a little pushback to Shamea here too. I feel like Shamea felt this, you know what? You don't defend me publicly. You don't defend me privately. So publicly, I'm going to address how much it frustrates me that you do not treat our friendship with care the same way I do. You don't give a fuck about what I think. I'm always being scrutinized by you, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired. So I am going to make you address all of this stuff on camera, because what you're not going to do is continue to be fake and try to make yourself look like the victim. That's exactly what I think Shamea was doing here. And she was playing her cards, playing her cards. But let's keep going, y'all.
Prior to me anyway. That's okay. How it even got. So the difference between you and I is when you do things that bother me, like talk over my music, I didn't go crazy about it right then and there. When you do little petty stuff like make posts or talk over me when I'm talking, all of those things feel dismissive to me, and they're hurtful. So I would like moving forward is when you feel some kind of way.
Now, see, bitch, not giving me a sigh. Not, I'm telling you that I don't like when you talk over my fucking music, and you know good and damn well that was me singing. Now, Porsha knows that Shamea can sing. Shamea can sing her tail off. Now but instead of you sitting there and supporting her amongst the group of friends, you talking about, no, that's Drew. Now Drew, the same motherfucker that you trying to have a problem with, but you gonna put her on a pedestal to put down your friend. That's fucked up. And let me tell you something, Shamea a better woman than I ever be, because let a bitch sigh when I'm sitting up here telling you that'll be the last goddamn sigh you ever have, because you won't ever. It'll be a sigh damn relief, bitch, because I'm gonna be walking the fuck up out of here. Waiter, let my food to go, please, because this bitch is she's sighing and shit. I got to go. Ain't no goddamn way you gonna sit up here and sigh. Bitch, it'll be a sigh of relief because I'll be out your life. Period. You wouldn't be able to, I will never pick up your phone call again. That's one thing I do know how to do is erase a motherfucker and you will be invisible. That's crazy. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I said it now. What says I think it's partly a scheme and real. They play acting, but really mean it. Yeah, you know what? A part of me in the beginning felt like this was a story, like Shamea again being the friend that she is, you going along in the storyline. But I think it kind of hit home as y'all are acting. Like I think I don't know, but that this right here, I think it's a real problem. It's a real problem that they need to address. Porsha is not a good friend at all. The side was messy now. Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, even Porsha with her sister. Remember on Porsha's Family Matters, the sister Lauren addressed with Porsha that she don't like the way that Porsha treats her. And Porsha got pissed because Lauren stood up to her. Porsha doesn't like when anybody stands up to her and tells her that she's a fucked up individual. She doesn't want to, because the thing is, for her to listen to what you're saying means that she has to impart change. And she don't want to change. She wants everybody to comply to whatever she wants them to do. And at the end of the day, it's like, Porsha, what are you providing to the masses where somebody need to bow down to you? Shamea doesn't need you for anything, honestly. She doesn't. Reality with DVD says, "Hey girl, you got the somni?" No, actually. Hey friend, thank you for joining. I am actually tired, but I just wanted to get on here and talk about this with y'all because in the morning I want to get up and talk about the papoose and Remy Ma stuff because I got a lot to say about that, y'all. Oh, I got a lot to say about that. But I want to play his response because I think a lot of people are not paying attention to a lot of the things that Papoose is saying. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm just gonna basically use this weekend to catch up because, like I said, I also said earlier, I wanted to give y'all some good news in my members only. I was dealing with silently a health issue the last couple of weeks, and I got some good news this week. So I want to share with y'all, what happened, and I'll talk about it in members only. So we should be back on track after this at this point. So kudos to me, yay me. But y'all, let's get back into this conversation.
Tired? Am I boring you? Taking a breath. It's a little bit uncomfortable. Okay. Why is it uncomfortable? For me to express myself. It's an uncomfortable situation.
I don't know why it's uncomfortable for somebody to tell you how they feel. It shouldn't be uncomfortable for your friend to express themselves to you. And that's really where I wanted to get to, where Porsha is just making a bunch of excuses. Shamea then continues to proceed to speak very carefully to Porsha, as if she's trying to make sure that Porsha sees that, hey, I'm your friend, I'm not against you. I don't know, I'm just trying to find the right words to tell you that I love you and you're my friend, and I really, I want us to remain friends, but I want you to stop treating me in a shitty manner. And it's like, Shamea, at this point, girl, fucking say it. Say it. Tell her, bitch, I'm mad at you because you didn't fucking come to my wedding. I'm pissed that you constantly put me last amongst many others. You hanging out with Phaedra. You was on the show all buddy freaking frack with her, and you blocked me from being on the show, and you try to use the excuse that my husband don't want to film, but you didn't encourage me and push me to do it anyway. But Candy did. And there's a lot of people that are like, Candy isn't the reason why Porsha is on the show. Shamea is on the show. Porsha said that she was pushing to bring Shamea on the show. I don't believe that. I don't. Because just like you didn't want Dennis to film, you want to control what everybody says and does around you. You can't control Shamea as a full-time housewife. You can control her as a friend. I believe that Shamea knows things about you that you don't want to come out. And I think keeping Shamea in a friend role is what's most comfortable for Porsha. Because Shamea as a friend is in a controlled capacity. She's not going to be seen and heard too much. And I think that's fucked up. Porsha want to control everything around her besides her taking care of her business. You ain't paid your mortgage on your house because you waiting on Simon to pay for the shit. Hell, what Cordell said that you had a condo where you wasn't paying for your mortgage, and he had to pay the condo fees and get it up current or whatever for the condo that you had. You are just not used to being responsible, Porsha. You want to control everybody and everything around you, but you're not in control of everything that you need to be in control of in your life. You want everybody to come, mainly men in your life, to come and save the day. I think that your mother has served you very wrong. She did not do the right things and didn't teach you the right things. I said it now. What says? Sorry to hear that. Glad you're better. Yes, thank you. Praise the Lord, child. Praise the Lord. Whew, it was definitely a blessing. Okay, I will say that. Melanie Clark says, "Bingo." Yes, listen, Porsha, she's not. Listen, she is not an angel, and I'm tired of her sliding on by, thinking that people should just comply with whatever she wants them to do. Lee says Porsha just made her big horse mouth mad. Her big horse mouth can't see. But I definitely would have walked out on Mr. Ed. Hell yeah. She would have been sitting at that table eating by her curves and way by her damn self. Because what you're not ever going to do is embarrass me. Sighing and you shuffling shit around and fumbling your hands under the table and whatnot. Girl, fuck you. That's what that would have been. Because at this point, Shamia, honestly, and I'm going to say this is tough love for you. I no longer what does Funky Geneva say? I don't feel no ways tired about this. After this, Shamia, I no longer feel sorry for you. Anything that you sit up here and allow Portia to do is on you. You had your moment. You said it on national TV. You told her how you feel. I don't even know how y'all got up from this table. Even Portia went in the bathroom as Shamia is like talking. She goes in the bathroom. She comes back and she asks the waiter to box their food up. She makes the executive decision to box their damn food up. When Shamia's like, "Well, why are you doing that? I thought we were talking." She was like, "Well, you stopped talking." No, bitch, I didn't stop talking. You sashayed your ass into the bathroom to avoid the conversation. You are avoiding accountability. I didn't stop talking. You just ain't responding with "I'm sorry" or "Hey, I haven't been a good friend. Yes, I'm a bad friend, and this is what I'm going to do better." Instead, Portia decides to start making excuses about, "I'm just going through enough right now, Shamia. I'm just so sad. My husband this and that." Portia, shut the fuck up. We don't feel sorry for you about Simon. We don't. We absolutely don't. Whatever he's doing to you, you deserve it. You asked for it. That's what you wanted. You thought that you was skating around and you had you a rich man and you was just going to live the life. Y'all women got to stop leaning on these men for your lifestyle. That shit is getting played out. If you get money from these dudes, get money, but don't make your whole existence rally around what he can do for you. Have your own shit. Portia quit all her damn jobs just to be whatever she wanted to be for this man. That's dumb. The smartest thing she did was have Diane prop her feet up in her old house so she could keep that house. Now, it's going to be hard to get your mama up out of that house. but you did so much to try to keep that house. You didn't even want to move when you and Dennis were together. Dennis was like, let's get a place in the city. Both of y'all worked in the city. You ain't want to get a place when Dennis wanted to move, but you wanted to move when Simon said move because Simon was paying for all of it. Because Simon says, now look what Simon says. Simon says, I'm not paying the mortgage. Simon says, I'm going to embarrass you all over the internet and talk shit about you. Simon says, he's time enough for you, Porsha. And that's what it is. And also, I don't believe this whole Porsha can't talk about the marriage and Simon and production and this and that. No, I believe Porsha can talk about her portion. That's what I think. You can talk about how miserable you feel that your marriage is ending. You can talk about that. But I don't see you miserable. Porsha ain't cried not one damn tear over this man. Y'all remember when Porsha was all broke down, broke, busted, and disgusted over Cordell? Every scene was her mama and her sister coming to lift her up. The housewives coming over her house to lift her up. She don't feel that woman. She could give two shits about Simon. She probably glad she ain't got to hump up on and kiss up on his esterol looking ass no more. Please. Portia is full of shit. Nicole Wilson says Portia is jealous of Shamea. That's the real tea. You know what? Listen, I do think that there's definitely some animosity towards Shamea's lifestyle. Absolutely. I feel like Portia thinks that that should have been her, and that Shamea doesn't deserve it, and she does. And I'm like, Shamea is actually, hell, her husband looked up with her because Shamea still wants to work. Shamea doesn't, and she doesn't flaunt the lifestyle that we had. I mean, that they have. Because even Candy was like, y'all be surprised. Shamea is the richest one out of all of us. And Shamea doesn't flaunt it. She doesn't. She's very humble. And I think that burns Portia up on the inside. Reality with DVD says all of them. Oh, all of them. Kathy Smith says, why is production allowing Portia to walk out of scenes every episode? Damn, RHOA needs a new production team. Yeah, because she would sit there and get her feet held to the fire. Thank you for bringing it up, Kathy Smith. Because I'm tired of Portia. Like, I'm really tired of them letting her get her way. Shamea got a rich African, and Portia thought she was one up, and Shamea was Simon, and she definitely did, and thought absolutely wrong. Thought absolutely wrong. She got a rude damn awakening. But Shamea, a word on the curb is Shamea hooked them up. So I don't know. Simon says Ice gonna get me. Simon says Ice gonna get me. Simon says marry Portia. Simon says Ice gonna get me. But Simon was broke and a fraud. Absolutely. And Portia ain't look into not a goddamn thing. Not a goddamn thing. Demi Bell says, Portia ain't cried not a once about Splinter. Right. Not Splinter. Says Portia doesn't care about Florida Evans' twin brother. He do look like Florida Evans, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I'm gonna put a picture of him side by side with her. That is hilarious. Kathy Smith says, Portia talked, and thank you for joining us. Portia talked about Simon this episode. She's had an avoidance personality trait. Seek counseling for that. She definitely needs to seek counseling for that. And I agree with you. She avoids conflict at all times. She avoids accountability at all times. Like Portia really, and y'all remember when Portia, remember that lady that she had a really really low haircut. Portia was going to counseling with Cordell, and she went to counseling with Dennis at one point. She went to counseling with Dennis, but the counselor was beginning to tell her that Dennis was right and she was wrong, and she didn't like that. So she stopped going to counseling because she don't like to hear the truth. Porsha got a problem. She doesn't like accountability. She does not like accountability. Glad you're feeling better, Shay. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lee. Yes, it's a true blessing, girl. Okay. And when I tell y'all, you can be like, ooh, man, that's crazy. Miss Diane taught Porsha what she knew. She passed her money hungry thought behavior down to Porsha. That she did. I agree. She definitely did that. That's spread them and get them. That's that spread them to get them mentality, okay? But spreading them to get them ain't gonna keep them. Please believe that, okay? Brittany Janae says, or Trick Daddy. Ooh, not Trick Daddy, honey. Yeah, yeah, they got a resemblance for sure. And y'all, Trick Daddy used to be fine back in the day. Now, he was attractive. He looked like a totally different person now. That lupus really took over his life, and that drinking and not eating right. I said what I said. I mean, I said it now. Esther should have. Child, listen. Kathy, yes, Dr. Sherry. Yep, that was her name. Thank you for that. Thank you for that poll. Yep, Dr. Sherry. Dr. Sherry was she was good. But Portia ain't one here what Dr. Sherry said. The soul of the matter says Shamea had two weddings. Portia had to have two weddings. Now, I will say the soul of the matter. Shamea said that she only had a wedding in Kenya. She didn't have a wedding here in the United States. So Portia didn't go to her wedding, and I think that's messed up. I think she had some form of a ceremony here, but it technically wasn't a wedding. She said she had a celebration, but the wedding was in Kenya. But like that's fucked up that she didn't go to that girl's wedding. But I guess she want to have one. She had to have a wedding here and a wedding in Africa, to try to do better than Shamia. But those are I'm telling you, friends that envy you, those are the worst type of friends, y'all. The worst type of friends, and I had a friend more recently that I had to let go because it's like I don't need no fucking haters around me. Like she literally has said, "Oh, I had to block you because I didn't like seeing how it hurt my feelings or it bothered me to see that you were on vacation as much as you go on vacation or that you went to all these events and stuff and I couldn't go." What? And I'm telling y'all, when she sent me these text messages telling me this shit, I said, "Are you shitting me? You're telling me that you literally blocked me on social media because you didn't want to see me on vacation because you can't go on vacation. And you didn't want to see me at events because you can't go to events." I said, girl, you don't sound like you my friend. You sound like a fucking hater. And I had to tell her there's never a time that I would not celebrate you. When you go somewhere, hell, I'm gonna be liking all the pictures and telling you, girl, have a good time because you deserve it. Not blocking you because I'm fucking hating. I'm telling you, it's people like that. You gotta let them go. I don't know if it's because I'm getting ready to turn 40. I'm at a point in my life where if you ain't serving me, you unnerving me. You got to go, bitch. Mm-mm. You got to go. So now when I see her, I don't see her. The bitch is invisible. I told her, I said, you could lose my number. Cause at this point, I don't need nobody around me like that. Cause that's a treacherous ass individual. And a lot of my friends, y'all, believe it or not, I've had the same friends all of my life. So any new additions that I've picked up recently, the smallest thing, you're done. Because I don't want to leave room for you to think that we haven't even built enough rapport for me to put up with your shenanigans, especially. And also, I'm an observer of people. I kind of knew from the jump when I met Homegirl that she was going to be a problem. She displayed hater like tendencies, but I looked past it because I was like, maybe I'm over, maybe I'm, maybe it's not what I think it is. She does have good tendencies. She's very supportive. I love her kid. I'm gonna give her a chance, but I gotta listen to my damn self. Gots to listen to myself from jump. So I wasted 2 years in a friendship where I had to end up breaking up with a friend. And I will do it again, okay? I would do it again. My girl, Miss B is in the building. What's up, sis? How you bees? Thank you for joining. Y'all, it's 1:22 a.m. I'm so sorry I got y'all up this late at damn night. Miss B says Portia is no one's friend. Least of all this girl who wedding she missed. We knew that then. SMH. Absolutely. There's no way that you're going to walk around calling yourself my best friend and you didn't come to my wedding. That's crazy. And with Shamea being as rich as she was, Shamea, he even said that she would have bought Portia a ticket to the wedding if that was the case. Because Portia made it, it's like she hinted at it being a financial thing. Then she tried to make it a health thing. It's like the reason kept changing. Then more recently, she was like, well, we weren't getting along. I don't give a damn if we are. What could y'all possibly have been that mad at each other about where you wouldn't go to your best friend's wedding? The only thing that I would be that pissed over is if you fucked my husband, but then the wedding wouldn't even be happening. So there's that. Child, Portia and Shamea, Shamea full of shit just because she allowed Portia to pull her along this damn long. That's all I fault her for. Kathy Smith says friendships breakups are heartbreaking. We know everything about one another. Yeah, but you know what? One thing I was really smart about, I ain't really tell her too much personal shit about me because she just she just seemed like the type that would go and spray you on Mad Day. And that's exactly, well, she didn't really have much to spray on me because I didn't tell her nothing. And to this day, I know shit about her and I would never tell a soul. Even when people come up to me and be like, why you don't, oh, hey, how's so and so? I don't even tell people that we ain't cool no more. I'd be like, oh, I imagine she doing good. I'm sure. I just been really busy. I haven't talked to her and now leave it right there. Cause I don't need nobody asking me, oh, what happened? Well, I did notice y'all wasn't talking or y'all don't be around each other no more. Yeah, okay. Ask her what happened. How about that? My girl Linda Gamble is in the building. Linda Gamble, the hardest working woman on the YouTubes. How you bees? Thank you for joining. All right, where we at? But that's all, y'all. I love late night lives. Oh, thank you, Reality with DVD. I be trying to listen tonight. I was like, I got to get on here and talk to the peoples. Okay, I got to talk to my friends. The soul of the matter says, did Shamia go to Kenya for Portia's wedding? Yes, she did. She did go. She went to both of Portia's weddings, which is fucked up. I wouldn't have went to none of her shit. Um, Trick Daddy Lee said Trick Daddy looked like that mucus cartoon on the commercial. Not Trick Daddy looking like a ball of phlegm, girl. That is hilarious. Oh my god. And he do though. But y'all, that's it. I ain't got no more. I just wanted to come on here and talk about this dynamic with Shamia and Portia. Look, this friendship is pretty much over. Portia is not going to change. That's a clear indicator by how she tried to get ahead of that whole situation, talking about some, oh yeah, and you better not ever talk about my mother again, and blah blah blah. That little fake ass girl. Portia is so fake. I'm telling you. She tried to really turn the fans against Shamia. She tried to control a narrative. Like the whole time she's trying to, it's like the whole time they were sitting at this table right here, she kept on pandering to Shamia. Then she even said it, y'all, at the end. She was like, oh my God, I have never tried so hard to get somebody to stop ambush. Shamea was the fact that you sat there through all of that and felt like Shamea was ambushing you. That what Shamea was doing. The girl was literally telling you how she felt, and you looked at that whole situation as an ambush. Yeah, Portia has the intelligence or the emotional intelligence of a 5-year old, because even my 8-year old son has more emotional intelligence than this chick, and she a grown ass woman. She too damn grown for that. Too damn grown. But y'all comment down below what y'all think. What do y'all think about Portia and Shamea's relationship? Do y'all think that this friendship is pretty much over? Is Portia a friend to anybody? Like, Portia just seems to me like the fun time girl. She's not a friend that you can have real depth with. Um, you can't really have like a real friendship with her. And I really am tired of people saying that, Shamea is jealous of Portia, because it's really nothing for Shamea to be jealous of Portia over. Shamea is the talented one. Shamea is the one with the connections in the industry. Shamea would have been something whether she was Portia's friend or not. She's not known as Portia's friend, okay? She had all these connections prior to Portia even being on this TV show. And that's something that people don't realize. But, it is what it is. But thank y'all so much for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with anybody else that's watching the show with us too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.